going live? I think we're live. Yes, we're live. Hello, everyone. I am Liliana, and this is
Catalea.
And today we are here because we wanted to make some bows.
And
Make some bows?
And I made a bottle.
Yes, she made a bottle. So, in case you want to get started, in case you have something with us, if you're following the replay, just do hashtag replay, let us know. But if in case you're interested, what we're going to be working with today is a bow bundle from Greenery Market. So if you look up in the description, you're going to have a link and it takes you to their page where they have bow bundles. Bow bundles are amazing because they're already coordinated for you. You don't have to think exactly what exactly it is that you need in order to make your ribbons match. So it's a much easier way to create your designs. This bow bundle is the pink and lime green bow bundle. At the moment, only if you decided that you wanted to buy them individually for whatever reason, like, you know, you have some ribbons, the only one that's available, well, this one is no longer available. These two are still available individually on their website. I just checked. I mean, that could change very quickly. But these two are still available. I'll give you the item codes. And this one is RGA127733. And the other one is RGF1154WT. So these are the two that are still available. This one is not, but if you have a pink that goes with it, hot pink. So this is, if you look at your main item, right, the main color, let's say the focal point, I would say this is the focal point. So I'm jumping right into it. I didn't even say hello. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everything's going. It's a happy Sunday. It's actually
say hello.
Did I say hello? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. But it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
We didn't go see parades or anything because we were out yesterday, so I wanted to stay in today. But yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day for anyone that celebrates it.
I want to say Patrick's Day.
Yeah, she wanted to. So the main focal point of the three ribbons, you could say, is this one. It has all the colors. So if you have, right here, we are pulling in the green, right? So let's say you did not have a pink. Well, you have orange in here. You have another pink. You have a light. You can use a lighter pink. But if you're on their website, the bow bundle is available in full if that's what you wanted. My link is there. Okay, so I'm trying to make bows, obviously, but what bows do I want to make? I want to make something simple. So we could make, all right, we could make a three ribbon bow, three ribbon bow, which is going to be the harder one. And then with anything that's left over, let's make some smaller bows. Let's make like a single bow with the 1.5 inch. These two are 2.5 inch ribbons. So we could actually make
36.
2 ribbon bow. 36. Yeah. Okay. And let's see here. Let's refresh so in case anybody comes on. Everybody's probably out in barbecues. It's a nice day. I've seen people barbecuing already. It's pretty cold where we are, but I've seen barbecues already.
Boom, boom,
Everybody's
boom.
probably out. Okay, let's mute that. Okay, it's buffering. Why? I don't know what's up with the internet. It's okay, whatever.
Boom.
All right, so the way that I like to make my bows, let me show you exactly what I use. We all make our bows different. I think that there is no right or wrong way. I still learn from watching, sorry, I keep playing with my hair. I still learn from seeing my counterparts making bows because everybody does everything differently. Been doing it for a while, but I still like to tweak things, but I still stick to my main basics of making bow that I do that not many people that I see doing is this wire. You could use zip ties, you could use pipe cleaners, but I like to use floral wire. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what color it is. I try to make it match. Whenever there are sales at Michael's, end of year, I stock up on these. I stock up on these in every single color. So if I needed the pink one right now, I don't have a pink, but I do have a red. I have a rose gold. I have so many different colors. So if you have a green, it's fine because the way I like to make bows, it's eventually going to be covered with the pipe cleaner. I know people that like to use this, with the corded wire. that's exactly what I call it. There's many different ways of making them. Okay? All right. So the first way that I like to, okay, the things that you need to have. You need to have your floral wire, right? Again, this is if you're doing it the way I do it. I like to use zip. Okay, I've said before that I'm not a zip tie person, but I am. I have zip ties in every color, but not to make my bows. I use zip ties for everything, especially when I'm making wreaths to add the attachments. I love zip ties, but zip ties for bows I do not. I rely heavily on my floral wire, and I'll show you why. Because I'm always that paranoid person. Baby, what are you doing? That I feel like if I'm working with the bow and I happen to drop the bow, I don't want the bow to fall apart. And that's my main thing. And I don't want the bow that if I pack it later on, if I pack it because I'm finished using it for that season and I go back to it, it's still going to be fine. It's still going to be all together. All I have to do is fluff it up. That's it. So that's what I mean in terms of like having a bow. I rely very, very heavily on my floral wire. All right, so let's get started with a 3-ribbon bow. So we're going to use 3 different ribbons. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the floral pink and lime green floral bundle, bow bundle from Greenery Market. And my link is there in case you wanted to follow it. So the first thing, I am over analytical. Not that bad anymore, but I still overanalyze. But we have our ways, right? When I work with a bow, I think about the pattern. How am I going to use this? This Swiss dot is to me, it's like a solid, so it's going to be in the middle. Well, it's a 1.5 inch. So no, it had been a 2.5 inch, then yeah, but it's a 1.5. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use this one first because it's kind of like the solid. If you get what I'm saying, it's only 2 colors. Then we're going to have our patterned one because we don't want it to be lost because it's pretty. It's the focal point. It's where all the colors came from. That's going to be the second one. And then we're going to top it off with this one.
Ignore me.
Okay? Who's ignoring you? What are you talking about?
Ignore me.
Ignore you? Oh, ignore you. I see what you're saying. Ignore you. I see you. You went over there to get tape, did you? Okay, my daughter, when she gets older, she's gonna invest in tape stock because she loves tape.
And my tape monster.
She puts tape, yes, tape everywhere in the house. Tape, 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 tape. We go through rolls of tape. I have to buy cheaper tape because she loves tape. Okay, so the first bow. Make sure you take all your plastics off. It's ready to go, right? Okay.
Yep.
First thing you're gonna do is, let's measure the tail. I like to give a generous amount of tail because we're not sure exactly how big it's gonna be in the end, so I always rather have more and cut than have to add more, which you could always add more. I'm actually gonna make a video about how to add more tails to your bow. Like you finished it, now you want to make it bigger, you could always add more. Okay, and I'm using my small one because she's here, she's making bows too. All right, so I'm gonna measure. I'm not gonna count this little corner because it's a new roll. Did you notice how the company stopped rolling it, giving you that little extra? A lot of them have. All right, so let's go, because it's already bent, so it's gonna get cut off anyway. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna give it, let's give it 13 inches, right? You see that? Yeah, you can see that. All right, so 13 inches. I'm righty, so I like to work with my right, but I hold with my left. So after I do that initial one, I'm gonna move it to my left hand. So this is my holding hand. So I'm gonna pinch it right there. And I love this ribbon because it's easier to teach with this ribbon because it has 2 sides. Solids are a little bit difficult because when I tell you to twist it, it's like, why are you twisting it? It's already the same on both sides. You do want to twist it because it gives that little bit more of a pucker. So I am happy that I'm working with with one that has a design on it. Okay, so once I have that, I'm gonna twist it. That's what does twist mean? If I'm holding it like this, I'm twisting it, meaning we're gonna show the back side. Why am I showing the back side? Because we're gonna fold it over to make a loop. So I'm gonna work with 12-inch loops. 12-inch loops, or also known as 6-inch loops. 6x6, 2 sides, 12. In case you're wondering. Yeah, baby.
Means twisted.
Oh boy, does it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Twist means twisters.
So I'm gonna go 12. See that? And bundle it with your hand, pinch it, and then you're gonna bring it over and meet where you started, right there. Okay. So that's the first one. Now we're gonna twist it again. And we're going to measure 12 again. And bring it back to the same spot. See that? I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. I know a lot of people like using the bow makers. I don't. I have them. I even have the really expensive ones. I don't use them.
Because you hate them.
I don't hate them. I just feel that this is a little bit faster. And I'm trying to also help people that don't want to invest in all that stuff. Me, I use the bow makers when I'm working with really, really big bows and I want my hands to get a little bit of a rest. So sometimes I do take them out for that, just to give me a break. For the big floral toppers, the Christmas toppers. But anyways, I'm getting off. All right, so we have the two, right? You have the two. We twist it again. And now we're gonna go 12 inches again. 12 inches. Bring it back.
My bottle broke.
Now another thing that I did not say when we started is what kind of bow are you gonna make? Are you gonna make like a pretty, like a hair bow type thing? If you look at the bow up here, do you see it? Do you see this bow in this wreath? Actually, this bow is even on both sides. Do you see that? It's even on both sides. Same number of loops on the left and on the right. I'm not making that type of bow. I'm gonna make a poofy bow. So I'm only gonna make 3 of these. Once I finish that, once I finish my last loop, I'm going to cut it. Just realize I need to prepare this. Okay. And I don't need to measure the last tail. I could just eyeball it. And we have that. Okay.
Make it shorter.
So the next one, the next ribbon that we're going to use is our floral ribbon. Now, we finished on this side.
No, we
right?
didn't.
Got that. Let's not confuse them. So now we're going to start our ribbon. Got that. We're going to stop our ribbon. Hold our other ribbon on the other side. If you want to see how it looks like that. I'm holding.
Funny.
I know you're being funny.
I'm being silly.
Silly Willy. So I'm holding it. I'm going to pinch it in my fingers. I don't know if that's enough. I want to make it longer. Do you see that? See how I held that? Okay. So this one's facing in this direction. Your fingers are the anchor point. That's where everything's working through. Just your 2 fingers. Just the 2 fingers. Everything's through. And I know it's harder. I know. It's not the easiest. Alright, so we have that. Twist it. You could actually make it smaller, but I'm going to make every loop, I'm going to make them 12 inches. So I'm measuring 12 inches.
My bottle's breaking.
It's okay. We'll fix it later. And that's the first one. See that? Okay. Now we're going to twist that. Don't worry about fixing your ribbons. Your ribbons are all over the place. We twisted it. Blank side is out. Like let's say the ugly side. Again, why do we twist it? Because once we turn it, it's going to close in your bow. You'll 12 again.
You hurt me.
There's 2. Another thing, as you're working, make sure to pull your fingers between the loops. Why are we doing that? To make sure your bow's even. Sometimes when you finish your bows, you wonder, oh, my bow's lopsided. Why does it look like it's smaller on one side and bigger on the other? It's just because your placement of your fingers, or when you were working on it, it was lopsided. All you have to do is move this. So that's why as you're working, so you don't have to try to take it apart and fix it and move that, just do it with your fingers as you're working along. See? So I just go like that to make sure that they're even, usually the ones on the 2 sides. And then keep working. But if your bows are lopsided, you don't have to take it apart completely. Just move your fingers or just try to wiggle the center, whatever you use to attach it. Let's say the zip tie, whatever it is that you use.
Are you still going to use this
Okay.
ring bowl?
So 12 inches, yes I will.
And when it looks like a turkey feather, but look.
Not yet, at the end.
Turkey feather butt.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, so I did 3 and 3. Now I'm gonna cut that.
Nice and straight. You almost cut me.
Cut that.
I'm kidding.
You know I didn't cut you. You're crazy. You're being silly today. You're being crazy silly today. See how different she is? She hasn't been coming on here lately, right? She's older. She's in 1st grade now.
I'm about to be 7.
She's about to be 7.
She's 17.
Right. So there we go. Okay, back to the other one. Now we're going to use our small one. And I always like to add a solid to it. That's why this bow bundle is amazing, because it comes with the 3 bows that you need. The 3 ribbons, I'm sorry. This solid pink, well, it's a Swiss dot, but mainly fuchsia. It pops it. Look how it makes it pop. See the difference? Like this is pretty. Don't get me wrong, but add that. Oh, see how pretty it looks. Okay, so now because I finished my last tail on this side, I'm gonna make my next tail starting on the other side. Make sense? No, makes sense. You could ask questions. Totally fine. I'm trying to go as slowly as possible. So now I'm gonna work with my tail. I try to work reverse for you.
What's reverse?
Backwards. Which is harder for me, but easier for them to understand. See how I'm holding that there? Now I'm going to do the twist again. Twist out. I'm gonna keep going with the 12. That's just my thing, 12. Now, you have a decision to make. If you wanted to just make one loop here, you could leave it like that. No, we're not doing that. I take it back. We're not doing that. We're not. Sorry.
So then, why did you say in front of the fan?
Because I change my mind sometimes, and it's okay. As I'm
not.
working. Yeah, it is. It's okay. It's okay to change your mind. You change your mind all the time, don't you?
No.
You don't, actually.
I don't.
You don't. She doesn't change her mind. If she makes a decision, she sticks with it.
I go with the flow.
It's not going with the flow.
Yes, it is.
Okay, baby. Alright, I'm still doing that. And we can leave it at 2, but I'm going to add 3 so that way it's an even 9. I know 9 is not an even number. But
quick.
Odd numbers are good when it comes to designs. So, an even 9, if you get what I'm saying. If that makes sense. Alright, another thing is, I wanted to have a lot of tails. Maybe you didn't want a lot of tails. Maybe you just wanted to have the main one, the first one with a lot of tails, or maybe the second one with the bigger tails. So, you could have just started the bows smaller there. With a smaller bow. Maybe the top one, you don't want the big tail. Get it?
Yeah.
So even here, I could have just made a shorter tail here and cut it there. Or add. Does that make sense?
You like my bottle, guys? It has a hole in it so you can put food in there. Or yogurt.
Just making bottles.
It's real.
This one's not even.
Let's
Like
see
that.
if it
Is
works.
my bow even? Nope, it's not. Move my fingers a little bit.
It works. The yogurt came out.
And I'm cutting this. Okay.
It almost fits.
So now we finished that.
Wait, I just made a magic trick.
Okay, hold on. Tell me about your magic trick after, okay? Because I'm going to show this now. Hold on. Alright, so now that we have our bow there, this is where the floor wire comes in. Got that for a second. So now I'm going to wrap, and I know this isn't the easiest, and I have big hands. I know I have big hands. And I'm going to wrap this around like 3 or 4 times. I'm not making it tight yet until I know that it's even. 3 or 4 times. And once I feel that it's good,
It's
see
freezing.
that? It's okay. I'm gonna take this. You could actually use pliers, any kind of to hold it so you could twist it.
That's a small wire.
Don't make it too tight, because if you make it tight, it breaks.
It breaks a full apart.
So what I like to do is cut it to the point where it's about half an inch, and you can tuck it down. See that? Can you see that? And then you just push it down. So why do I obsess with making it with floral wire is because if I drop this, it's not gonna fall apart. Look, I'm throwing my bow around. It's not gonna fall apart. It's like, it's awesome. It's done. It's done. But now, if I made it like this, I can't attach it to anything. So this is what it requires, an additional step. So what I like to do is I like to use a pipe cleaner. Pick whatever color you want. Here you could use a zip tie for my zip tie friends.
Don't we need green because it's St. Patrick's Day?
We don't have to use green. We could.
I can use all
Now, some people don't like using the pipe cleaners because it's kind of fuzzy and you can see it. Again, to each his own. And this is where, if I'm creating it for someone that's gonna, well, let's say if a customer's gonna buy it, I double up the zip ties. And that way, giving the person, say, enough space. This is too small.
Wait, are you
So I would actually, let me just show how I do it.
Are you gonna use all the?
Let me show what I do.
Are you gonna use all of the?
I double the zip tie, right? So that way it gives enough space to attach to anything you want to use it on. And then I do this. See that? And then I attach it to that. And then there's another step where I actually finish it up and cover that as well. So I do that as well. Okay? So here it looks like a kind of a mess, right? Because I went ahead and I started finishing it off for you. Now you gotta fluff it up. This is where you gotta look at it, see exactly what it is that you're doing. Move your ribbons around and make it look pretty. ¿Qué pasa, Cata? Having a moment? You're live. You're acting?
No.
No, you're not acting? Okay, see how much better that looks now? And if it was too much, you don't want to see the pink as much, you can move them around.
I just want some white yogurt.
No, okay, go upstairs then.
No.
Okay, then I'll tell you.
Fake.
Okay, not right now.
Yum, yum,
Okay.
yum.
So you see that? So that's bow number 1. Now another little trick too, if you want to add a little bit of just pull on your ribbons and it gives it, I didn't cut, it's a new roll, I didn't cut the edges, but if you just pull on them like that, it gives it a little, see that? See, bow number 1 done. So pretty.
Yogurt.
If you wanted to, do I have any flowers right here? No.
Right there.
Where? It's in the wreath.
Oh, there's flowers right there.
Nah, we have tons of flowers. We have so many flowers. I'm staring at them. But if you just nip a little bit of flower, a little flower bunch, for example, let's say just a little idea. You could just put this like in here and have it pop out and finish out. See that? Get it? Okay. So that's bow number 1. And what can we use this on? Hold on.
Hold on.
I think of things.
We're both leaving, and we're ending the vlog.
This.
We're ending
see
the
that?
vlog. Hey! It's raining clovers.
Ay, Kata. Alright,
It's raining.
there's bow number 1.
Below number
Add your
1.
bows to your staircases, add bows to the bottom of your planters, add bows anyway. That's a big one. That's a big one.
No, it's not.
That's bow number 1 on a lantern. So it's not a lantern, so I just on a lantern. And I have different size lanterns. I haven't put on the bottom. It's a smaller lantern. All right. Actually, let me write. I need to add the sizes of my lanterns for them. All right. So that's bow number 1. Bow number 2. And look, we have a lot of ribbon. These are all 10 yards. We can easily make one more bow because we use a lot of ribbon. But let's make. I don't want to make the same one. Let's make. What kind of bow should we make? We can make the opposite. No, let's just make a single bow. A single bow using this color.
A single finger.
Actually, no. So this ribbon, I'm going to use. All right, so this is a 1.5 inch ribbon. Again, it's a Swiss dot. We just use this ribbon here. Let me move it over so you can see it. So let's make. Go upstairs, baby. So it's gonna be, how should we make this one?
Why'd you put it on a lantern if there's nothing in there?
Doesn't have to be anything in there. We could just put that upstairs and decorate upstairs. All right, so let's do 12 inches.
But that looks like for Easter.
12 inches. Easter is coming. And I'm gonna do the same way, same exact style. I am twisting. But I'm only gonna use this pink ribbon now. And we have that so far.
I did it.
Again, you know what? Let's start all over again. Let's start all over again because I got distracted.
No people are talking to us.
It's okay. Doesn't matter. Because a lot of people just like to watch. They don't like to talk. So we started off and we measured out 12 inches, which is for our first tail, right? Like I said before, I am a righty, so I like to hold and work with my left. So once I did that, I'm going to turn it so the tail is down. I'm not going to be switching hands throughout the process because then that's how you mess it up and you lose it. So I only switched it one time. Here is the ribbon that we're working with. First thing I do is twist it. I'm measuring 12 inches. Kata. 12 inches, right? We twisted it and now, I'm sorry, now we're going to twist it. We measure out 12 inches. It's going to be tiny bow.
Can you show them my mouth?
Hold on, after. Hold on. Twisted it again. Twisted means when you twist, you want the blank side out. See the difference? The ugly side. So that way you measure your 12 inches or however big your bow is. Once you turn in, you're able to close that loop. So this is a very, very simple, small 12 inches. We could even make this 6 to make it a smaller bow. But it depends. You could add this into a small wreath. Then you could add more tails to it. But I want to make it 5. Let's make it 5 loops. How I like to make it, and when I have one single ribbon, I'm sorry, is I like to cut it at this point, give it a shorter tail, and then keep working. So let me cut this. Everybody's wondering, what is she doing? See that? I gave it a smaller tail. And now I'm going to add the larger one to work with. That's a small there. Then I'm going to add a short one sticking out. See that? Look. On the other side, I'm holding it. And that way we have 2 little tails sticking out here. And this could have been a different color. We could have just started working with a different color ribbon right there. So now I'm going to add, and the students from my fall class and my friend's birthday party will know that was bad. I taught them a pretty difficult bow for all new beginners.
You know, the friends that come to your birthday party can hear you through here, and they're saying that it's bad.
It's okay. It's good. I like it. That's all that matters.
My yogurt.
So we have 12. So right now it's even on both sides. You could leave it like that if that's what you want. I personally like to make them uneven. So we're twisting one more time. 12 inches. So if you don't have a mat, get a piece of paper or cardboard, take a ruler, everybody has a measuring tape, and measure out the 6 inches, the 10 inches, the 12 inches, however long it is that you're going to make your bow or your loops.
This can be like a pot flower, but I want it to be a bottle.
See that? It doesn't look like much right now, but once we fluff it up. So again, let's add our wire. We're adding our wire to it. It's only 5 loops. You can make it 7 if you keep going. Remember, find your center. Make sure it's your center by pulling the loops. Oopsie.
What do you use these for?
To not burn myself. And then just wrap it. I like to wrap it 2 or 3 times. 3 or 4.
So you like do this.
And then use your wire cutters to cut.
So you do this.
And then twist it to make sure that it is tight. Remember, don't twist it too tight towards the bottom because then it could break and then
and
it's gone.
done. You're done.
You're not done. You gotta do it again.
You
gotta reattach it.
You have to,
Reattach the wire.
you have to start all over again.
Just reattach the wire. Gotta start over again. Just reattach the wire.
Wait, did you just whisper start over again?
No, I said you don't have to start over again. Once you cut that bit right there, push it down with your finger. Try not to get cut because it pinches, it hurts.
Yogurt attack.
And then once we have that, we fluff up our bow.
Yogurt attack.
Chakata. Hold on, baby. Give it a second. And then this simple bow could also be used on anything. This type of bow, because it's 12 inches, a simple bow like this, I personally like to use in a wreath. In a very, let's say like a garden wreath. I could replace this bow in here. This bow here. Hold on, baby. Could actually be hidden with this one. See that? I could change the whole look of this wreath. Well, a lot of the look of this wreath with just changing the bow. See that? See how pretty? Look how it changes that. This is already listed. I can't change it now. I'm not going to change it. I already took photos. But you see that? See how it changes that? And then you could take the bows and loop it through and add more tails to the bottom.
Are we about to
See,
be
this is when it
done?
gets exciting.
Are we about to be done?
You can leave, baby. I'm still here. I'm on a roll.
But
So now you have these little pieces here, so you could dovetail them or cut them in half. When it's like this, inside the loops, I like to dovetail them. And when you dovetail, just be careful where your point is, because if you dovetail in the opposite direction, you get like a dart. It's okay. Just fix it.
Fix everything you
And then
do.
see that. That was simple. Let me know. Is that too hard? I mean, I did it for my friend's birthday party, and
Everyone didn't like
everybody was a beginner. And they did it. They did it. They did it. This was the exact bow that we made for the fall wreath that I had up here the other day. Same bow, except that instead of 12-inch loops, we did 10-inch loops because it was a small wreath. But you see that? You could do this. You could do this. And I could even... I didn't finish it off. I didn't add the pipe cleaner to this one yet. But even something simple like this. Excuse me. You can do that. See how... Now maybe you want to add more tails to it. You could just easily just grab more ribbon to the bottom, through the back.
Are you using this still?
Maybe I'm in the middle here. And just add more ribbon. See how it changes it? I'm telling you, every little thing you do changes it so much. Just add longer tails and it changes it. So much. That's what's exciting about it. It's ribbon. Ribbon. Okay. You know what? I'm going to change it now. Now I want to add that. I want to add it. No, I shouldn't. Should I add it? No, I'm not going to add it just because I want to keep using this ribbon to add more. But you see that? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Does it make sense? Let me know. And then this time, don't forget, the way I like to do it is to add pipe cleaners to it at the end to finish it off and add to whatever it is that we're adding. Why do I use a floral wire? Because now I could throw it, do whatever, drop it, and I'm sure that it's not gonna fall apart. And also, it's good to last throughout the seasons. Okay, so now let's switch it to this one. Super easy. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. This one's a little bit harder.
Can we plant these outside?
Huh?
Can we plant these outside if they're real?
After. There's not real. Okay. So, what's the next bow that we can make? Let's make one more. The last one that we could make is going to be... let's use a pink ribbon again. There's something about solids. I just love the solids because the solids just work with you pretty much with anything that you're doing. You always need, I feel like you always need a solid. You could use the two patterns, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the solid always gives that extra little bit of pop that you need. So, all right. So do we want to do these two? No, I want to do these two. I feel like these two just go. They do. All right. So I'm going to make a bow now that it's going to be even on both sides. That's going to be our last bow. Be careful, baby. You could pinch yourself. Everything in here has sharp things, so please be careful.
These are my phones. These are the sharp.
Yes, I know. Yes, those are the ones in your room. But you can still pinch yourself. All right. So let's start with a 12-inch tail. This one's already cut on 1 inch. So I'm going to go, and laundry's dry. Okay. So I'm going to go measure 12 inches. I think I should have enough of this one, but I'm going to be conservative. Okay. So I got 12 inches. Go upstairs.
I'm scared.
Again, I need space. I'm going to go from here to here, measure out 12 inches. Once I hold it, once I have it, again, I am righty. I like to work with my right, so I'm going to hold it in my left. Once that is done, go upstairs, please. Then I'm going to twist it, and I'm measuring 12 inches. Because 12 inches makes a 6-inch loop. So again, you might hear referred to them as 6-inch loops or 12-inch loops. That's what that means, 6 or 12. Just double it. Now we're gonna go 12 inches again. And we have like the bunny ears, as people call them. Putting my fingers to pull them, make sure that they're even on both sides. Then I'm going to twist again. I'm going to make one more. Actually, two more. Twist again. Measure out 12 inches. This ribbon seems to have curls during processing when it was being packed. So the edges are a little bit twisted in there, but it's okay, it happens. Okay, so now we have 4. I'm gonna try to being a little bit more conservative or being a little bit more careful with how I cut the ribbon out because we already used it for another one, so I don't know how much we have on there. I mean, we could do math, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, so look, now this one, see how different this one is already? Because I'm making it even on both sides. Now, the next ribbon, because I said we're just going to use these two, we're going to use our pink one. And because we started, this is different. We're going to go back to this side again because we finished here. See how this line pops up over? We're going to start on this side now. So I'm going to hold this, basically going to feed it over. And I don't want these tails to be as long. I want it to be shorter. See that? I don't want it to be as long. You can just pull it and see. I want it to be a little bit shorter. Okay, now that I'm holding it, I'm going to twist it. And now this bow, this loop is going to be smaller. The last loops were 12 inches. This one I want them to come in a little bit smaller. You don't have to measure. You could just eyeball it. But if I were to eyeball it and then go back to measure it, that is about 11 inches. So we're going to stair step in. We're going to come in on this one. See that? So it's a different bow. Very, very different. This is what's so fun for me. Okay, so then we finished that one. We close it, pull it 11 inches again. Close it. See that? We twisted it again. Now we're gonna go 10 inches again. I'm sorry, 10 inches. 11. Sorry, I'm like shutting here. I'm always shutting. 11 inches. See? Twist it. 11 inches again. You can go upstairs, you don't have to stay here. There you go. And that was 11 inches. Now, that one came out a little bit longer, but it's okay. We're going to cut it at the end. But you see?
You're still going to use this pipe cleaner?
Not yet. Not yet.
You're not going to use that one?
So now, hold on, baby. We could finish here. This is a pretty bow. You could finish here. But I want to add one more loop of this guy in the middle. I want to add one more. So what I'm going to do is, we could add 2 loops. I personally have a preference of finishing off my bows with the smaller ribbons on top. But I get it. It doesn't always turn out that way because of the colors or just for your preference. But in this case, I'm going to go back and add one more loop of this one. So again, we finished off on this side, so we're going to start on the bottom side. Does that make sense why I do that? Because it's already popping up on this side, so I want to like kind of start it on the lower end. Not on the higher end. Or you could, and then kind of, let's do that. So you're not wondering like, well, what happens if I do it the other way? Let's do it the other way. So now I'm going to feed it through from the top. Make it a little bit shorter. It depends if you want that. Do you see me now? I'm here over analyzing, thinking. I just changed the bow in my head, guys. Do I want this now? I think I want tails popping out of here now. Yeah, let's do the tails. Remember how we did the tails before? Let's do the tails up here now. See that? Okay, so it's going to be a short one. It's going to be a short one. Look how I'm holding it. And I'm adding more because I don't know how long I want this to be. See that? Okay. You could very easily just do this across and then you have the 2 tails up top. You could do that. I'm not going to do that. But you could. And then we're going to make it 10 this time because it's smaller. Twist it. Make it 10 again. And now we're going to cut another one that's going to be about the size of that one. Give me a second, Kata. See that? But I still want tails. I still want bigger tails. I'm not going to lie. I want more of the... I don't want it to finish off on just this color. I want to add one more tail. It's finished. The bow's finished. We could just finish it there. What am I doing right now? I'm fixing my tails and seeing what do I want with this bow. So we could go back and add one more loop of this color just to top it off. See, you could go on forever. You could go on forever. And just add the one final loop or add one more of this color. See, I just can't. You could go crazy. You go crazy. That's what happens. Okay, got that. Is that I keep looking at it and I'm like, okay, what do I want to add next? So it's okay. It's okay. It's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's what do I want? What do I want with this? But see how I just fixed it? Because once you add the wire, you don't want to take it apart. So it's better to hold on to it and see like, what exactly is it that you want? Step away from it. Kind of hard to step away from when you're holding it. But I think, you know what? Let's add one more loop. One more loop of this color to finish it off. There's going to be a third tail. I'm going to add it to this side here. Or actually, you can hold it wherever you want. And add just one loop. And the last one was 10, so let's make this one 9. That's going to be a center loop. And we are done. And I'm going to cut it. Cut it however, because I'm not sure how I want these tails to be. And that's it. So now what? So now, our floral wire. Let's get our wire. And I'm wrapping it 3 or 4 times. And I'm making it tight because we got a lot of ribbon here. This time we do have a lot of ribbon. So see how I also pull it down to make sure that it's nice and tight? Because the more ribbon you have, the more there is. And I think I just wrapped that like 6 times. It's just automatic for me because it's paranoia that you don't want your bows to come apart. Cutting that. I'm going to twist it a little bit more. What time is it? Oh, it's already 6:30. That's why. Again, cut it to the point where we could just give it a little push, like, or wrap it under. And remember, this bow is different. This bow is very different than the other one. These, I could dovetail them. You could leave them at an angle. I'm going to leave them straight for now. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to dovetail it. No, I'm going to cut it at an angle. If I decide to dovetail it afterwards, we could do that. But do you see the difference with this bow versus the other one? I usually don't do these. If I do them, I usually don't. I was inspired, but I want to make it shorter. I actually do want to make it shorter. I feel like it's too big. I might cut it off, guys. I'm not going to lie. There we go. I made it smaller. You heard me? Smaller. I made it smaller. Okay. You need to wait. Okay, but look at the difference. See that? Same exact ribbon, and we made 3 completely different bows. So these are the 3 bows. We made this guy at the end, and remember, I added this at the end. We don't need to have it. You could take that off. I usually don't add those, but I was inspired to add that today. So we have this bow. We have this simple single ribbon. See that? This guy. And we also made this one. This is my favorite, I'm not gonna lie. I always make bows like this. All my poofy bows. That's what I call them. People say, when I make my customers bows, I'm like, you want a poofy bow? This is a poofy bow. And my wreaths always have poofy bows on them. Usually. That one back there doesn't. But they usually have poofy bows. See that? See? And then we have this guy. And don't get me wrong, it's still pretty. But think of these bows. You can add them to your rails, like I said before, on your stairs. You can add them to wreaths. You can add them to lanterns. Add them to lanterns wise. On your counters. If you already have arrangements in your house, you want to pop them up, just change them up a little bit for the seasons. Add a bow to it. You could change a bow for whatever, like I'm talking about, like a solid colored greenery. Change it up by adding different types of bows. See that? So these are the 3 bows that we made. Again, this was using the pink and lime green bow bundle, floral bow bundle from Greener Market. It is still available on their website. And look, we used a lot of this one. And look, look how much we still have. Look how much we still have. This is way over a yard. What's a yard? It's about 2 yards left. Yep, more than 2 yards left. With everything that we did. So it's a lot. They're 10 yard ribbons. So So we still have a lot, and we barely touched this one because we just got started. So you could still make another bow. I would say 2 ribbon bow with these 2 colors, and then use this one as an accent. So it's so worth it, and you have so much that you can do. 3 ribbons, guys. 3 ribbons, okay? All you need, or 2, or 1. So that's it. If you have any questions, please just add them. I'll come back and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate your time. Gata is happy to be here as well. And remember to follow me, subscribe. No, it's not subscribe. I say that because she always says subscribe. Subscribe. Click below, right? No, we don't click below here. We're on Facebook. No, we're on Facebook. But no, you could subscribe to my website, eventcraftstudio.com, and there's gonna be a lot more things coming, more ideas, more. The blog, I keep coming out with more articles on the blog, so please feel free to follow me there. And just thank you for your time. Appreciate you so much. Have an amazing week. It's Monday tomorrow. I'm actually gonna go do some work.
More greenery, more nature.
Yes, more greenery, more nature. Yes. Thank you so much. Have an amazing week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Nature is coming up for my birthday.